Welcome everyone. This is Marie Wade. We are here at the Zoom talk, and this time I have a special guest, Christine Damko, who is the Economic Development Manager of the City of Temecula. Did I say that correctly?
That's right, Marie.
Okay. Welcome, Christine. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So, I remember how you and I got to know each other, and I think it was because of the nonprofit organization, the Inland Valley Business and Community Foundation. And I think I reached out to you and trying to talk to you about how we can do all these community events. And I believe I invited you to one of our fashion shows that we did a few years ago. Am I right?
That's right.
Yeah. And do you remember the time that we did it at was it at Pechanga Casino here in Temecula? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember it. It was
Yes,
a
and
great event.
yes,
Very,
and what were
very.
you wearing? You were one of the fashion models, right?
I think so. I think I was a fashion model twice. One
Okay.
was casual, and then another time was all bridal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember you guys were all beautiful with those wedding gowns. I mean, they're amazing. And I'm trying to remember who made those gowns. It's been a long time.
I
But
know one of them was I know she had a shop. There was a few designers, but one of them was from a shop in Marietta, a local
okay.
bridal shop. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that is so cool. I really enjoy doing the fashion shows. And then you and I started talking about doing bigger events for the nonprofit, and we talked about doing it at the Mercedes-Benz in Temecula, and then we talked about doing it the one of the wineries, right?
Mhm.
And I think we
Mhm.
ended up doing it at Leonis Cellars. Was that right? Leonis Winery.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and then
Yeah.
one at the Promenade Mall,
Yes.
which was a
Yeah.
big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's for a lot of people. It was a big event.
Yes, and
It
I
was a
believe
whole
the
like
host, yeah, the host was even a celebrity
yeah.
from the Project Runway, and I'm trying to
Yeah.
remember his name. I'm blanking
I
out,
know.
but
I know.
but that was really good memories that we've had, and that's how I got to know you more, and then it felt so good because it brought a lot of people from outside the Temecula Valley. There were people coming from San Diego, from Los Angeles. The photographers were coming from all over, and they were even contacting me coming from Las Vegas. They said they wanted to be a part of the event, and they were traveling just to be at the fashion show. And
Mhm.
that was beautiful. And I really enjoyed doing those fashion shows. And I thank you so much for supporting the nonprofit organization for doing those fashion shows.
Yeah, well, it was a well done. Each of the events was very well done, and it brought a different flavor of Temecula out, if you will.
Yes,
We haven't had a fashion show necessarily before
yes.
on these types of levels, and so it exposed people from that genre to Temecula, and then it also was just a fun event for our local residents. So it was a good time.
That's good. And then I believe we also did it in front of the city hall.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
outside.
was gorgeous. It really emphasized the beauty of the building of the city hall, and it's well presented because of the architecture of the building itself in Old Town.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm so proud of showcasing the city hall because it's just such a beautiful work by so many people in the construction and in the architectural world for
Mhm.
creating that beautiful layout of the building. So
Mhm.
and the Old Town Temecula became so popular that it is now always crowded. I mean, I remember when I first moved here and I went to Old Town, and I was still trying to figure out what is this and everything. And then all of a sudden, after a few years, it was like the talk of the town. It was like everybody is there, and it's like every night it's just people are, gathered and they're having so much fun. There were so many music going on, events, and I love it.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
it because, yeah.
Yeah, and we're still not done. You know, Old Town has so many new developments coming in, new types of businesses coming in. So it's definitely just the start of Old Town.
Okay. Well, talking about our situation right now, where a lot of businesses are hurting because of the situation. What is going on right now, and how is the city helping the businesses at this time?
So if you notice, I am not in City Hall right now. I am working from home, much
Yes.
like our many other city employees. But just because we are working from home does not mean City Hall is closed. We are open for business. We wanted to make sure that during this time, we were not stifling economic development, that we were still moving it forward. So all our permitting is all done virtually, is all done online. We
Okay.
have planning and development staff and our public works team still moving forward with reviewing plans. We're still moving forward with public infrastructure. Construction on the roads is still happening. And in fact, since traffic is down and less people are on the roads, we're using that time to repave those main lines. So economic development in the city of Temecula is still moving forward. We don't want to be a hindrance. We still want to promote as much as we can safely. So I would say number one, that message, we would like the development community to understand that message.
Okay.
In terms of resources, it's tough right now for small businesses, specifically your non-essential business. Our local grocery stores are having record years, but especially the shops in Old Town, a lot of our restaurants, retailers, the Promenade Mall is closed except for the essential businesses and the outlying restaurants. So how is the city of Temecula helping those businesses?
Okay.
First of all, we want to be your economic recovery resource. So there are quite a few federal, state, and county level loan programs and resources that businesses, employees who have been laid off can take advantage of and should take advantage of. The City of Temecula has a specific webpage on our website. If you go on the city's main page, temeculaca.gov, you'll see coronavirus. You click on coronavirus, it has tons of information.
Okay.
Whether it's click to health information, to resources. We have a bright blue economic resources button. And if you click on that, it will clearly, concisely lay out all the different programs that are available with the contact information, if you will. So definitely if you're a business or an employee who's been laid off, to check out our site.
Okay.
And then also I wanted to mention our strong partnership with the Small Business Development Center, which we call the SBDC. And I am not, it's not just a City of Temecula partnership, but SBDCs are all over the state. So you might have heard SBDC, that terminology before.
Okay.
The city has had an existing partnership with them for many years. They actually have offices out of the city facility. entrepreneurs exchange. And they are what I call your boots on the ground. If a business needs hardcore business assistance, they go to the SBDC.
Okay, well, that's good to know.
Yeah, so the City of Temecula, as a city staffer, I'll be able to connect you to resources, but I'm not going to give you hardcore business advice. Instead, I'm going to direct you to the SBDC, and in the Temecula Valley, you'll chat with Paul Nolta. I'm going to direct you to Paul. This is all free. This is all free services. And Paul has an entire network of relationships with lenders. He's up to date on what loan programs you should apply for, if you should even apply for them. Your business plan, does it need some fine tuning? Do you need to restructure as a result of COVID? So if a business is looking for really boots on the ground business assistance, Paul Nolta and the SBDCs is really the person you need to go to. We have their contact information on our website, of course. And if you need his contact information, my information is on our city website as well under economic development. And as a result of COVID, they'll be expanding their services. So Paul's actively hiring on additional experts to specifically help with those businesses in the retail, tourism, and healthcare industries that have been affected by COVID, and really walk them through this restructuring process and how to operate in this new world that we're going to be eventually transitioning to. And those consultants are going to stay on for the next 12 to 18 months.
Okay, well, I know Paul. I've met him before, trying to analyze and evaluate my company also. And he's very, very helpful and available to provide all kinds of information for business. And is he still in the same location where it was the Temecula Valley Entrepreneurs Exchange?
Correct.
Okay,
yes.
So that's where people can go and meet him. But all the information to schedule an appointment with him is through your website. Okay, so I'm glad to know about SBDC because, again, if people, especially nowadays, there's so many businesses that are just really having, some challenges and tough times for them. I think it's good to know that they can reach out to the City of Temecula and be guided to go to SBDC and get some help there. Okay, perfect. And I worry because, I was also a business owner of a real estate company, and I know how hard it is to run a company and, the challenges of keeping it up and maintaining a company, especially when you run into something like this. It's just, what else can you have, you have to deal with in order to keep it running, right? And it's good that we have the City of Temecula behind these companies that can really help them keep going in spite of all the situation. Yeah.
And to work with Paul, and really for our website, you don't necessarily have to have your business in the City of Temecula. It's really for any business that is located in the Temecula Valley, in our entire valley.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about the area of Wildemar? Is that what you're talking about? Wildemar, Menifee, even Lake Elsinore? Do you go that far?
Yeah, the SBDC, they assist really all businesses in our valley.
Okay.
I know some of the other cities that you mentioned, they also have partnerships, but the SBDC, they don't have city lines. It's all they're here to help this region.
So if anyone is listening from, let's say, Escondido or in Hemet or Paris, they can reach out to SBDC because they have areas where they're being covered.
Yes.
Okay, well, that's good to know. Now, How do you feel personally, Christine? How do you feel about being quarantined right now? I'm sure you have your own family too, right? And I'm sure you have your own thoughts about it. Can you share those thoughts to us and kind of know how you feel about it?
Yeah, so well, I'm working full time. So I'm working full time from home, mainly because I have a 10-year-old daughter and a 7-year-old son that aren't able to go to school, and all the summer camps, all the spring break camps were obviously canceled. And so at first I was a little bit intimidated
Uh-huh.
because I was like, oh my gosh, I have to homeschool and work full time and keep it all together.
Yeah.
But of course, I have my moments, but I've been able to work in a routine, and thankfully my 10-year-old is 100% virtual, and so she's upstairs in her room with her teacher on the screen, and then I
Okay.
have to work a little bit more engaged with my little one, my 7-year-old. But we sit at the kitchen table, and I have my laptop, and he's on his laptop and his little worksheets. And I've just been, actually, I view it as such a blessing
Okay.
because our daily lives we're so hectic, and I can't wait to get back to it. But to have this time in my life to just be with them 24 hours, um, I'm just really relishing it as much as I can, because I know soon enough we'll get back to
The
I'll get
normal.
back to work, and they'll get back to school and activities and running around, doing drop offs and stuff. And so I'm just really, every night, I just think how lucky I am to be able to spend just this extra time with my little one.
Yeah. Oh, that's so beautiful. And I also feel that way for a lot of the families that are staying with their kids. I know it is hectic, especially when your working environment is like you have to be constantly talking to people, and then your kids are like running around or you know um, making all kinds of noises. So it's hard to balance all of that. But I think people are very flexible, especially understanding our all situation right now. That yeah, that is exactly what's going to happen if you're surrounded with your with your kids, right? Excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, just yesterday I was on a Zoom call, and my son was being extra loud, and I could not get him to be quiet for the life of me. And someone on the call was like, "Excuse me, Christine, can you put yourself just on mute, because we cannot hear anything except for your son screaming?" So just little things like that. But
Yeah.
what do I
But I think
do?
it's a good challenge because you are spending time with your family, and I think it is such a great opportunity to have that, you know, something to remember later on in the future that, yeah, we were all together. I was working and you were doing this. And it was just, I'm sure there's a lot of memories, that you guys are building right now because you're all together. Yeah.
Yes, I'm so thankful for it.
So, in regards to the city of Temecula, what are some of the great plans that you guys have in spite of our pandemic situation? Are there any big plans for the city that people need to know?
Well, our first uh, big um, hurdle is keeping everyone safe
Okay.
and healthy. So that is our still, to this 6 weeks into this, is still our number one concern.
Okay.
What people need to know is that the city of Temecula does not have our own health department. We do not have our own health officer. And
Okay.
so when we incorporated in 1989, we made a commitment, or vows, if you will, that all health related decisions would be made under the county health officer. So we have our hands tied, if you will, with any decisions about opening or not opening, or opening parks or not opening parks. Our hands are tied we have to rely under the county health officer. And so yesterday or earlier this week, the county health officer made the decision to open golf courses and tennis courts and pickleball courts and the associated parking lots. So as of today, the city of Temecula, we don't have any city golf courses. They're all privately owned.
Mm-hmm.
So we obviously didn't need to open the golf courses, but we have 2 city-owned tennis courts. And so we were able to open those and the associated parking lots. But we had to keep the playground equipment and all the other parks closed because, again, we're under the health department officer, the county health officer orders. And so as they are making decisions, we have to abide by those orders. So I know there has been a lot of chatter, especially on social media, of the city, why isn't the city opening up, businesses, or why isn't the city opening up Temecula? Well, we don't have the authority to. We are bounded by what the health officer allows us to. And the same with complaints. We do get complaints or questions of, am I allowed to operate my business still? Or this doesn't look right over here. This business should not be operating. We are funneling those questions to the health department because they are ultimately making the decision. The city does not have the authority to make the decision.
Okay. Well, that makes sense though. I mean, you really have to follow what the guidelines that are being provided. And I think, I'm sure people will understand that, and they all have to do the same thing just to make sure that we protect everybody and we're still, making sure that everybody's safe. So I think that just makes sense for you guys to do that. But I'm just looking at the future of the businesses because, of course, they're having all kinds of challenges right now. They're going to get some resources from SBDC, and later on, I hope that it doesn't really hurt the economy of the Temecula Valley, because of course it's difficult when you see a lot of businesses still hurting. I'm just wondering if there are companies that are closing, will there be another opportunity for them to find a way to get back in after closing their business? I know this is kind of a weird question, but I was just wondering if there's any kind of program that after they close their business, somehow find a way to get them in or get them, into another business again where they can start all over.
Yeah, I mean, we're in our second round, if you will, of stimulus funding.
Okay.
And I'm sure there'll be many other rounds of stimulus funding coming down from the federal and state government. So we look for the recovery period to be another 12 to 18 months long. The recovery period will, a year from now, we'll still be talking about the different recovery methods that businesses can take advantage of.
So that's still quite of a lengthy, time to recover. So I see where it's going to be hard for a lot of people, which, I myself have to cancel my own event. I scheduled an event April and I had to cancel all of that. And I have one in October, which I don't know if I will have to cancel that too, which is another big event I have. But again, we all have to just be flexible. And with the technology that we have right now, we're still able to communicate and run our business. And we just have to adjust and learn how to utilize the technology.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But anyway, I really thank you for your time. I just wanted to ask you if you have any last words that you wanted to tell people about the Temecula. Yeah, this is the time. Go ahead, Christine.
Well, on behalf of the City of Temecula, just know that you have a mayor and city council and a city manager and city staff who are working around the clock, fighting for resources to give back to the Temecula Valley. On a legislative level as well, we have lobbyists and city staff fighting and writing letters. So we are giving it the good fight. We're putting in every effort we can during this time, and just know that you have a whole city behind you. And we wish everyone well, good health, and just stay safe.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Christine. It's so good to see you again. I know I think it's been the last time I've seen you was like a long time ago, and I'm hoping that maybe one day I'll do another fashion show
Yes,
in the city
I
of Temecula. It
know.
will be fun again. But thank you so much. I think this is going to be good information for people. To all of you out there, definitely reach out to Christine Damko at the City of Temecula, or even check out the website. This show has a lot of good information. Please share it to other people. And what you have heard, you can reach out to SBDC if you are in need of assistance for your business. Okay. But anyway, we're gonna go say goodbye, and thank you again, Christine, and we will see you again. Okay. Bye.
Perfect. Bye.